Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements, and just before I start today's video, I just want to make you all aware of a trading signal service that we have here. If you would like to receive trading signals from me, for myself, or the rest of the team here at Daily Market Movements, then you can do so simply by visiting our website www.dailymarketmovements.com. What I'm going to do is leave the website link below this video in the description, so if you are interested, please scroll down, go and click on that link, which will then take you to our website, where you'll see that we only charge a very small fee of $199 for a year's membership. So in front of me is a Nasdaq 100 futures chart, and as you can see today, we've had a very volatile day. We started the day very negative. We gapped down on Sunday evening, and this was due to the fact there was been loads of spikes in coronavirus cases, especially in China, in Beijing. There was a market where there's been a reported 57 coronavirus cases, and this is the biggest daily spike since back in March. And you know, a lot of the world currently looks at China to kind of predict the future, because obviously China were the first country to be on lockdown with regards to the coronavirus. So we kind of look to China to kind of predict what our future may look like. So if they're getting spikes in cases, that means that there's a high potential that we, when I say we, I mean European countries, the US, South American countries, that we could all potentially see a spike in coronaviruses in cases, even though we are now starting to ease our lockdown. So it's not a very good indicator for the global economy. So that is why we did trade to the downside. But since then, since the US Open, we have actually rallied, and now we're trading back in the green. Currently find ourselves trading at $9,645, and you could even argue that we have, as long as the US session ends in the green territory above 9,600, you could argue that we have even formed a slight hammer pattern. Sorry, not a shooting star, a hammer pattern, which is actually a bullish signal, which will then send this market probably back towards the $10,000 mark, which is obviously a huge psychological number, and it's the all-time high in the Nasdaq. You know, these tech stocks thrive when there's lockdowns put in place. You know, the likes of Zoom, the likes of Apple, Google, Facebook, you know, when people are just stuck on their computers at home with their faces in social media, etc., these companies thrive. So for the Nasdaq 100, although we did start the day in the negative, what tends to happen is that, you know, the Dow and the S&P drag the Nasdaq down, but eventually it is the Nasdaq that comes out on top and then actually thrives in the lockdown and this pandemic. So I am bullish long term and short term. This is a big enough dip. We've had a dip around about 6% now in the Nasdaq 100. I was a buy at 9,500, and I'm targeting towards 9,750, which is the previous all-time high. And then if we can break above that level, then I'll potentially open up a new trading position and target towards the $10,000 mark. But as I mentioned before, short term and long term, I'm very bullish. I'm a buyer. I was a buyer at 9,500, and I'm now targeting 9,750. So on Tuesday, I would definitely look for the Nasdaq 100 to aim towards 9,750. On the RSI, quickly, we are not overbought at all. Nowhere even near it. So we have plenty of territory to gain enough momentum to then target towards that $10,000 mark. So that's another bullish signal over here on the Nasdaq 100 chart.